Good afternoon, everybody. This is Cyrus here, back with another Hess truck video. Today we're taking a look at another series of Hess truck miniatures. It is the 2021 3-pack. So if you're not too familiar with the Hess truck miniatures line, they're miniature versions of full-size Hess trucks, and they recently, since 2017, have been doing 3-packs that you get 3 miniatures in, which I think is a pretty good deal in my opinion. So we have the miniatures in this 3-pack include of the 1980 training van, the 1968 tanker truck, and a miniature of the 1997 Hess truck and racers. I'm going to start off with the training van because this is my favorite out of the set. The other two I do like as well, especially the Hess truck and racers, but this is mainly why I bought this set, as I wasn't able to get the full-size training van due to the fact that the only way you can really get it is on eBay, and you can still get some Hess trucks secondhand, new in the box on Amazon, but for some of the really old ones like the training van, this wouldn't be the case for. So right away I couldn't wait until Hess came out with a miniature of the 1980 training van, and around the time that the 2021 miniatures were being released, I was hoping that the training van would be in there, and sure enough it was. A little bit of information about this particular vehicle. It's actually a licensed vehicle made by GMC, based on a GMC Royale. Hess bought a fleet of this motor coach to use to conduct field training at the Hess gas stations before there were computers and cell phones, and this happened around the late 70s and into the early 80s. As for the full-size version of the training van, it does have a pop-up TV antenna, which obviously isn't present here, and there is an opening door. There's also an interior on the van, the full-size version, that is. And, well, this one doesn't have an interior. I can totally let that slide and stuff. I'm not particularly bothered by it. What I will say, however, is it's definitely respectable in this case that there's no interior, because since this is at a smaller scale, they need to save any room inside of the vehicle for any lighting features. And since they're low on space, they have to use whatever space they have. So that is respectable. We'll look at the lights on all 3 vehicles later on. Next up, we'll do a classic with the 1968 tanker. They did this cab a few times, including one with the, I believe it was 75 and 76 box trailer with oil barrels in the back. And then they did a different style cab and tank trailer in the same colors, but there was a notable difference on that one. It was the cab design. I believe it was partly based off of a Mac R model cab, but I could be wrong at the same time. And then they did do a miniature of that tanker that looked like it was based off of the Mac R model truck. I might do a separate video comparing those two. You do have a separate plastic piece for your hose, and on the real-life version, it would be able to pull out. This isn't the case here, though, but that's not a big deal. And lastly, here is the other guy, and quickly before I show him, I'll show the decal. So on the training van, you have painted on pinstripes, 2 molded in air conditionings up top, or air conditioning units, molded in lines for your door. You have about 1, 2, and then of course there's one on that side. About 3 Hess logos in total. There's nothing on the front. And as for the 68 tanker, you have a chrome Hess logo on the grille, one on both sides of the cab door, two right here, only it's switched and inverted to where it says fuel oils on the tank, and then a Hess logo stamped on the back. So we'll push our tanker over to the side and take a look at the race car transporter now. So this was the first 3-in-1 truck that Hess made, and we gotten quite a few race car transporters in the past. My favorite one would have been the most recent one, which was the 2022 Hot Rods. Originally, both the 97 and the 2003 race car transporters were tied for my favorite, but it was game over when they came out with those Hot Rods, especially the truck itself. I really like the vintage design they went with as well. But next to that Hot Rod set, the 97 and 2003 would be both tied for my second favorite. You have a little Mustang and a little Corvette for the two race cars included. I kind of like the Corvette a little bit better. I like all that green that's being used. Just adds a little bit more color in my opinion. The other thing I want to quickly point out is both of these miniature race cars, I checked, they do scale with micro machines, so you could use these with your any micro machines that you have, as well as any micro machine playsets on a similar note. If you happen to collect those, that is. So the features are similar to the real-life version. The ramp slides out, and then this door would fold up, and there's enough friction to keep it up in place. Hess logos on the trailer. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 logos on the trailer, and then there's about 4 on the cab. So you have 2 on the doors, 1 above on the cab, and then 1 right there on the front grille. You have chrome being used for your grille and your exhaust pipes, fuel tank, all that kind of good stuff, as well as chrome lining on the trailer. I've always been a fan of cab over trucks, especially during my childhood, so this is one that really takes the cake for me. And of course, since the 2003 also used a cab over that was sort of similar, despite it being a little bit different, that's what would make that one come in second place next to this guy. So we'll put our little race cars back in, and we'll take a look at both vehicles with the lights off in just a second. So put this guy back in. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Turn off my light, and then turn off my main light. Turn on the truck's lights. And we'll get our tanker turned on as well. Looking at the training van, you do have 2 yellow side lights, yellow running lights across the roof, closer towards the front, headlights, tail lights, as well as your Hess logos lighting up, and then red running lights across the back. With the 97 race car transporter, You have red lights that run across the top of the trailer, brake lights or tail lights for the back part of the trailer, as well as your Hess logo lighting up. The lower one doesn't light up, but that's okay. Orange running lights across the roof. Lower headlights, as well as your Hess logos on the cab lighting up. And some lower lights on the bumper too, which is kind of interesting. Finally, here's the tanker. Hess logos on the cab lighting up. Hess headlights lighting up. Brake lights on the trailer lighting up. So there you have it. So I'll get my lights turned back on. So all in all, not a bad little set. You could probably still get this set on Amazon if you're lucky. That's where I got my version, because these Hess trucks don't normally ship to Canada, so I usually have to purchase most of them off of Amazon. But certainly a really nice set, I recommend. It's kind of hard to get them all in, so we'll put our tanker right over here, right in front, and then we'll put you there and have you in the middle. So that just about wraps it up for this video. Have a good, safe rest of your day, guys. Bye.